So guys, we are going now through the scripted pipeline again. So I mean Jenkins pipeline, and the pipeline is, you can say, one of the more popular, at this time in the all the organization all across the world, right? The similar thing what we do in the freestyle job, we're gonna do this everything same in the pipeline as well, right? But we're gonna write that in the form of groovy language, right? And you can call it a groovy DSL language. So that's pretty simple, right? You do not need to worry about it. So let's say I'm gonna take you one example of scripted pipeline first, right? Basically, we use here two pipelines. One is scripted pipeline and a declarative pipeline. So first, you know, whatever you used to do in the form of freestyle job, that you're gonna write in the form of code, right? And check in that with your repository. So whatever the code you have, you're gonna keep that code in the form of Jenkins file, right? And commit it in the master branch, so that every build, whenever build gets triggered, so the Jenkins will read the instruction written in the Jenkins file and will execute them accordingly, right? So make sure you have well tested your instruction in the Jenkins UI first, then commit them to the Jenkins file. So let me show you the example of the scripted pipeline first, right? In a scripted pipeline, what we are doing is, so if you see here, I have written one Jenkins file and check in this file with the source code itself. So what I'm doing here is I am writing here node, right? In the node, the first we are defining a function. In function we are saying Maven home, right? Now this function can be called across anywhere needed in the script, right? So here we write stage, right? And stage we define what exactly we need to do. So you can see here one stage gets started, and stage name is preparation, right? Inside this stage you can start writing your program, right? What exactly you wants to do, let's say git clone, right? And you can define the Maven home here, right? Here again we are calling this function here, and we are telling this the tool we have configured, its name is Maven MVN, right? So you just have to define it. So the next stage what we're defining is build stage. In build stage we are just creating a small script which says if this is the Unix, then execute Maven clean install, and if this is the Windows, then execute this, right? So again, when the stage is closed here, right here, we are writing a new stage for the result, right, to recording our JUnit test. So we are just saying JUnit, this is the location of our JUnit test, and archiving the artifact after that. And the last stage is for a deployment. So whatever the whatever the artifact we have created, just deploy it to the remote server, right? This is how we write the instruction. So before writing these instruction, guys, what exactly you have to do is you just have to create one pipeline. So let's say I gonna create the first pipeline, I will call it, right? And we'll click on OK. So I will skip all the option at this moment, we'll take you through later. So if you come to the pipeline section directly itself, you'll get option here, either pipeline script from HCL and pipeline script you want to write in the console itself. So even you can write the script here and get them executed, but whenever you are writing any of the script, right, you can also come here and validate your scripts. Some of the example you can directly get it from here, like hello world, right, the basic pipeline hello world, and GitHub with Maven, which is a pipeline. So first we're gonna see the scripted pipeline section, right? The scripted pipeline section is the same that I told you. So this is the default code that has been given here, so you can use it for the testing. right? So what you can do similarly is you can modify this existing code here itself as per your requirement and use it, right? Or you can basically write your code. Just let's say I'm gonna copy this code from itself, my repository, and paste it there. Right, let's say you can say try sample pipelines, and you can apply and save it. And sometime when you are writing your pipeline, you can go to the pipeline syntax if you need to create some pipelines, or you can directly get it from some GitHub stuff, right? What exactly you wants to do? Archive artifacts. If you want to do this, you can give the file to archive here in advanced section if you have something, and you can directly generate the pipeline, right? So this is how you can do that. Whatever you wants to do, for everything you have more syntax available here. Change directory, echoing things, right? And you can say check out, check in, everything you have here, right? Let's say if you need to check out to some specific repository, so you can go here, right? And let me go up, right? You can directly clone this repository here, write to your syntax, this is my repository, give your username and password if you have, right? If you, this is your organization repository, right? And go to the advanced. If you want to give some references specification, you can give here, right? If you want to add multiple repositories, you can do that, right? And from which branch you wants to get this done, let's say you have a developer branch, right? And if all done, just generate the pipeline script here. So the script is ready to use. You can go ahead and create one stage or pipeline script for you. So this is how you can get the syntax from here and use them according to your requirement. So this is one of the good thing that you have available in the Jenkins itself, right? So this is how you can save your pipeline. So once you're done with this, so just give it a test once. Let's say I'm gonna test it here itself, and I'm gonna build this. Once your code gets successful, right, and everything is successful, deployment is successful, just validate it. So you can see when everything is fine, you can take that code, right, and check into some of your Jenkins repository directly. If you want to create the separate repository for this, go ahead and do that. Create one Jenkins file with the name of this, right, with the Jenkins file, right, and put it here, put it this code here, right? So the next time you're gonna do the deployment, you don't have to use this console output. You just go ahead and click on this pipeline script from HCM, right? And you just need to give the Jenkins file here, right? And here your git repository name, from which repository you are going to pull this code. So here you'll have to give your repository name, so copy this here. If this is your organization repository, give your username and password, edit this and add your user, and from which branch you would like to do this. So let's say I'm gonna do this from this scripted branch, so I'll copy this. So let's go ahead and put the branch here, right? And just go ahead and do apply and save. Jenkins file is already there where all these script are available in this repository. Let's go ahead and save this. Once you feel everything is fine and you are done with your changes in the repository, just go ahead and run your build. So this give you many benefit, like if even your Jenkins goes down, you do not need to worry about it, because where all the repository or your Jenkins file is available in the remote location, even in the file system of every developers locally, right? So whenever they would be pulling it, they will have Jenkins file itself with that. So you do not need to worry about anything here. So if you see here, your job has been successfully executed and this has been deployed. So this is how a pipeline can help you, right? So just think of the freestyle pipeline when we was doing that. Even your Jenkins get crashed, then it's difficult for you to create those all pipeline that we have initial. But here you don't have to anything. Even in any case your Jenkins goes down, your job is deleted something, so you can directly go ahead and just point your Jenkins to this repository, because all the instruction are available in this branch itself. So this is how a pipeline can be pretty useful in the industry at this moment. Let's quickly jump on declarative pipeline also, right? So the declarative pipeline is similar to, you can say, scripted pipeline, but it has some advantages over the you can say the scripted pipeline, and you can say one of the most popular pipeline in the current scenarios, right? I will quickly show you the differences here again. If you see this scripted pipeline, what we do, it start from the node, right? But when we see the declarative pipeline, it start always from the pipeline, right? Start your pipeline and end with the braces, right? So again, now we define the agents here, right? In which agent you want to execute this pipeline. If you define any, तो जो भी हमारा executor free होगा, I mean agent, slave node, it will start running your node there. So you have to be bit aware about this, right? But when we talk about the scripted pipeline here, in a scripted pipeline you see node, if we have defined node, that means it will run in the master node itself. But if you define here some node, let's say slave node, then it will be executed on the top of that node. So just remember this, right? If you see the pipeline, in pipeline start with the pipeline syntax and it gets closed here, right? At the end, I'm sorry, then you can define agent where exactly they should run, right? If any, again as I said, can be run anywhere. Then I have defined one variable which is called tools, and the location of the tool is Maven, and Maven is this, right? And one thing, in scripted pipeline there was stages, right? One stage was created like preparation and stage was closed. The another stage was created, built, and it was closed. Another stage was created and it was closed. So here we had all separate stages. One stage gets closed and then another stage gets executed. But if you come in the declarative pipeline, there is a big difference. We created stages here, right? Inside stages we create multiple stages, right? So let's say I have given here one stages. Inside this stages, braces started and it's closed here, right? It says stage compile stage. What we are doing again, within the stages you'll have to write these steps here. If you do not give the steps, this will not execute it. So you just have to start with stages, braces start, braces close at the end. Then write your stage here, your stage name, start braces, close braces, right? Then create one another step inside this stage. Give like your steps. What step you want to execute? Close, start braces, close braces, and start writing your queries inside it. Whatever the commands you want to execute it, that should be inside this stage here. So that's what we have given. This is my stage and these are the steps inside it, and this stage is closed. This is my one stage inside this stages. In the same way again, I am creating one stage which says testing stage, right? Start braces, close braces here. Again inside this stage one steps will be created. So in steps, start braces, close braces, and give your stage here. Let's say Maven test. So this is going to run a JUnit test on top of your pipeline. And the next stage is deploy. What are the steps inside it? You'll have to define your steps here. So in my step, what I'm saying is this is the location of my deployment and run this. So first you can do it. You can also test this script in the form of your scripted pipeline there. But if not needed, if you want to do, you just want to try it with the multiple build, that's fine also, right? My suggestion would be for you, break the things in the smaller steps, right, and then perform your steps. Let's say I'm gonna quickly pull out this here, right, and jump in to the here. So let's say I will create another pipeline here. Right, click on pipeline, click on OK. So let's directly jump on the pipeline steps. You can go to here in the hello world section and try sample steps. Let's say this is, you can go step by step. What is happening here? Let's say pipeline, you said you can start it with pipeline. Let's say this is giving a small example. All right, and process started here, stopped here, agent is any, and stages. Inside stages, what it's saying is this is my stage starting. Inside this I am creating one hello world only. What steps I have inside it? Echo only, echoing hello world, right? You can go ahead and run some builds here. Also, if you want to break it more, right, here it is closing, you can remove the further stages and see what will happen here if this is the beginning for you, right? Just run your build. So this is fail because Groovy syntax are missing. There is nothing. It says we need something, pipeline here. So let's say what we're gonna do is we're gonna add something here. Let's say tool sections as well, or one stage. So for learning, right, for a beginning, just go with the smaller thing. Edit your code step by, break it into the multiple lines and see, as we was doing in the freestyle jobs. Let's break it. And so what we have done now is we have just defined the pipeline is, let's see if this is closing fine. No, this is okay, it gets closed here. You'll have to also see like all the steps are being closed or not. This is closing here, this is closing here, this is closing here, and this is closing here. This is still not being closed here. So let's do this. So now that's fine. So you can go ahead, apply and save, and run your build. So you also have to take care of few things like some spaces and these things, because these things also can create some issues for you. It got failed somehow in the test stage. So what happened? It has nothing to clone, right? That's why it could not run. So this is how you can convert it into the small stuff and do the things. For now, I will quickly use my pipeline itself because my code is already there. So let's go to configure, right, and directly jump to the pipeline from CA. So in this way you can also create one script to clone your code and then run compile on top of that. So just click on scripted pipeline, select your get here, give your repository. If this is your organization one, you'll have to specify the username and password. You'll have to specify the branch as well. So from which branch you are going to do this. So this is my scripted pipeline branch. I mean declarative pipeline branch. So I'm gonna copy this from here.
Right, sir.
Right. So I have just given my this branch, my Jenkins file. Let's go ahead, apply and save this, and quickly go ahead and run this build. So build is running. So it's moved to the testing stage now. So you can see how like you can make it beautiful, right? Things here you can see the declarative pipeline checks it, SCM, like compile stages, testing stages, and you can quickly view what happened in which stage from here itself. So it also helps you doing this here, right? So let's go to the deploy stage and see. Use tool, okay, looks good. Everything is fine. SCP done perfectly, looks good, right? So this is how you can use this scripted pipeline. I would advise you to go step by step, right? Break your code into smaller pieces and test it, then move forward.